Hello aspirants, welcome back to our channel Food Tech Online. Hope you all are doing great. So this video is for all those aspirants who are preparing for their post graduation, that is MTech or M.Sc in the food technology subject, and they want good college and for which they are preparing for their entrance examination. So today will be our class 3 and hope that you all have watched the previous videos, and if not, the link is in the description box, you can watch it. So chalo, let us proceed. Question number 1. HFCS is made from, options are potato starch, wheat starch, maize starch or tapioca starch. So over here correct option is C, that is maize starch. So HFCS basically it stands for high fructose corn syrup. Okay, corn syrup. So it is basically made from maize starch, or we tell that as corn starch. So over here my correct answer is C, that is maize starch. So question number 2, concept of traceability used in FSMS it involves. So options are final product inspection, tracing the history of the food, or recalling of the history of the food product or process, or quantifying of trace elements as contaminants. So over here, as the name is suggesting, what the concept of traceability. So as the name is suggesting, traceability means something to trace out. So over here my correct option will be B, that is tracing the history of the food product, which is used in FSMS. So what is FSMS? FSMS is basically, it stands for Food Safety Management System. So the concept of traceability which is used in the Food Safety Management System, it involves the tracing of the history of food. So option number B is my correct option. Next, question number 3. The white portion of meat muscle refers to, options are vitamin, carbohydrate, mineral or fat. So over here my correct option will be option number D, that is fat. So the white portion of meat muscle basically it refers to the fat. Question number 4. The ability of starches to form gel is dependent on the presence of pectin, dextrin, amylose or amylopectin. So the ability of starches to form gel, it is dependent on the presence of amylose. That is option number C is my correct option. So this pectins and dextrins, these are not involved in gelation of starch. Okay, these are not involved in the gelation of starch, whereas this amylopectin, so we can say this amylopectin actually they contribute to the gel formation at higher concentration and lower temperature. That's why the primary reason, or it is primarily dependent on the amylose. So over here my option number C will be correct. Question number 5. Bureau of Indian Standard Act 1986 comes under, options are Directorate of Marketing and Inspection, Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India, Department of Legal Metrology or Department of Agriculture and Corporation. So over here my correct option will be B, that is Bureau of Indian Standard Act 1986 comes under the Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Whereas I can say the Agricultural Produce Market Committee Act, so it falls under Directorate of Marketing and Inspection, and the Legal Metrology Act, it comes under the Department of Legal Metrology, and the Agricultural Produce Grading and Marketing Act, that is 1937, so it comes under the Department of Agriculture and Corporation. But over here my correct option will be, that is Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. So question number 6. Which of the following are the correct types of dispersed system? So options are suspension, emulsifier, foam, suspension, solution, emulsifier, solution, emulsifier, foam or suspension, solution, foam. So over here my correct option will be D, that is suspension, solution and foam. So what exactly suspension means? Suspension means solid particle which are dispersed throughout a liquid medium. Whereas solution means that a one substance, that is solute, which is completely dissolved in another substance, that is solvent at a molecular level. And foam it is a dispersed medium where the gas bubbles are dispersed in a liquid or a solid medium. So over here my correct option will be D, that is suspension, solution and foam. These are the types of dispersed systems. Next, question number 7. Cleaning of the cereals by aspiration is based on thermal properties, magnetic properties, hydrodynamic properties, or aerodynamic properties. So option number D, that is aerodynamic property, is my correct option. So aspiration, basically it involves the use of the airflow to separate the lighter particles. So these lighter particles can be, for example, say chaff, or we can say dust particles, or husk particles. Okay, to separate these lighter particles from the heavier cereal grains, it is based on the hydrodynamic properties. So here the lighter particles, these are carried away by the airflow, be leaving behind the heavier and the cleaned cereal grains. So option number D, that is aerodynamic properties, my correct option. Question number 8, sucrose upon hydrolysis in the presence of mild acids or enzyme invertase results in. Options are lactose, invert sugar, maltose, or raffinose. So over here my correct option will be number B, that is invert sugar. Next. Question number 9. Removal of air from the headspace of filled container either by heat treatment or mechanical method is called retorting, heating, exhausting, or canning. So over here correct option will be C, that is exhausting. So basically when a food it is packed into a container such as jar or the cans, what happens for preservation? It is crucial to remove as much air as possible from the headspace of which is above the food product. So this is because, as we know, air it contains oxygen, and oxygen it may lead to the oxidation of the food product, or it may lead to the spoilage of the food product. That is why this air it is removed from the headspace of the filled container either by the heat treatment or the mechanical method, and this process whole it is known as the exhausting. Option number C is my correct option. That's fine. Question number 10. Lack of control on dash in the food processing system can result in the safety risk for the consumer. So options are processing aids, hazards, contamination, or critical control point. So my correct option will be B, that is hazard. So lack of control on hazard in a food processing system can result in the safety risk for the consumer. So we know there are three types of hazards. These are basically the physical hazards, chemical hazards, and biological hazards. Okay. Hazards. So these hazards that have the potential to cause harm to the consumers if not properly controlled. So these hazards can arise at various stages of food processing, production, or distribution level. That is why the lack of control on these hazards in the food processing system, it can result to the safety risk for the consumers. That is option number B is my correct option. Question number 11. Which naturally occurring component causes enzymatic browning in fruits and vegetables? So options are tyrosine, taurine, tannin, or thiamine. So over here correct option will be C, that is tannin. So tannins, we know these are the polyphenolic components which are found in various plant tissues including the fruits and vegetables. So when these tissues are cut or damaged, the enzymes, that is the polyphenol oxidase, we tell it by the short name, that is PPOs, polyphenol oxidase. So these enzymes they react with the oxygen which is present in the air to oxidize the tannins, and these results in the characteristic browning reaction. So over here my correct option will be C, that is tannin. Question number 12. The best source of vitamin K are. Options are meat products, dairy products, green leafy vegetables, or cereals. So the best source of vitamin K are the green leafy vegetables. That is option number C is my correct option. While the other options, these are meat products, dairy products, or cereals, they also contain some amount of vitamin K. But the green leafy vegetables, basically the spinach, kale, broccolis, and Brussels sprout. So they contain the high source of vitamin K. So over here my correct option will be option number C, that is green leafy vegetables. Question number 13. A dietary deficiency of the following factor can lead to the Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. So options are riboflavin, niacin, biotin, or thiamine. So over here my correct option will be vitamin D, B1, that is option number D. So thiamine, it is also known as vitamin B1. Okay. So the Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, actually it is a neurological disorder which is caused by a severe deficiency of this thiamine. So option number D is my correct option. Question number 14. The natural enzyme pectin methyl esterase present in fruit is deactivated at 80 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Celsius, or 30 or 50 degrees Celsius. So the correct option will be A, that is 80 degrees Celsius. So this pectin methyl esterase, actually it is an enzyme that catalyzes the demethylation of the pectin, and it is a structural polysaccharide which is found in the cell walls of the fruits and vegetables. So this enzyme, it is sensitive to heat, and its activity it get decreases when the temperature get increased. That is why the natural enzyme, that is the pectin methyl esterase, it gets deactivated at high temperature, that is 80 degree Celsius. Option number A is my correct option. Question number 15. ISO 9000-2005 quality management system deals with. So options are customer satisfaction, fundamentals and vocabulary, requirements and guidelines for performance improvement. So over here my correct option is B, that is fundamentals and vocabulary. So ISO 9000-2005, it provides the guidance on the fundamentals and quality management systems, establishments, terminology which is related to the quality management concepts. So option number B is my correct option. Question number 16. The gas used for flushing the processed and the packaged food is. Options are nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, and none. So over here my correct option will be option number A, that is nitrogen gas. So along with nitrogen, carbon dioxide gas is also used. So the gas which is used for flushing the processed and the packaged food is the nitrogen or the carbon dioxide gas. So flushing with nitrogen or the carbon dioxide gas, what will it do? It will help to displace the oxygen from the headspace of the packaged food product, which can help to extend the shelf life of the food product by reducing the oxidation process and the microbial growth. So over here my correct option will be option number A, that is nitrogen. Next, question number 17. What causes sliced apples to turn brown? Options are oxygen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, or nitrogen. Over here my correct option is A, that is oxygen. So when the sliced apple, it turns brown due to the reaction of the oxygen which is present in the air with the enzyme which is present in the apple. So when the cells of the apple, it get damaged or ruptured during the cutting or the slicing process, what happens? The enzyme which is present in the apple, that is the polyphenol oxidase enzyme, these are released. So these enzymes, it catalyzes the oxidation of the phenolic compound which is present in the apple. It leads to the formation of the brown pigment called the melanin. Thus over here the oxygen, it causes the sliced apple to turn brown. Okay, so my correct option is A, that is oxygen. Next question. Question number 18. The condensation products of sugar with non-sugars, these are known as. Options are glycosides, aminosugars, glycerol, or deoxysugars. Over here my correct option is A, that is glycosides. So the condensation products of sugar with non-sugars, these are known as glycosides. So glycosides, actually these are the compounds which are formed by the condensation of a sugar molecule, for example glucose or fructose, with another compound that is non-sugars, typically through the glycosidic bonds. Okay, these compounds, they have various biological activities which are found in many natural products, including the plants, fruits, herbs, etc. So over here my correct option is A, that is glycosides. Question number 19. Corn syrup is a mixture of galactose and maltose, dextrose and galactose, glucose and galactose, dextrose and maltose. Over here my correct option is C, that is glucose and galactose. So corn syrup, it is a mixture of glucose and galactose. Option number C is my correct option. So question number 20, the hotness of chilies is due to the presence of. So options are quercetin, allicin, citrinine, or capsaicin. Over here my correct option is D. So the hotness of chilies, it is due to the presence of the capsaicin. So capsaicin, actually it is a compound which is present in the seeds, veins, or the flesh of the chili peppers, and it activates the pen receptors of the mouth or the skin, so causing the sensation of heating or burning when it is consumed. So the level of capsaicin, it determines the spices or the hotness of the chili pepper. So over here my correct option is D, that is capsaicin. Next, question number 21. The bubbles which is seen in the soda and the champagnes, these are due to, so options are sulfur dioxide, hydrogen peroxide, nitrogen oxide or carbon dioxide. So over here my correct option is D, that is carbon dioxide. So the bubbles which is seen in the soda or the champagne, these are due to the carbon dioxide. So what happens during the carbonation process, the carbon dioxide gas, it is dissolved in the liquid under pressure. So when the pressure it is released, such as in the bottle of the soda or the champagne, when it is opened, the dissolved carbon dioxide, it forms bubble, giving the beverage it a characteristic effervescence also. Okay, so over here my correct option is D, that is carbon dioxide. Next question. Question number 22. Vanaspati and margarine, it contains trans fatty acids, alpha fatty acids, cis fatty acids or beta fatty acids. So over here my correct option is A, that is trans fatty acids. So Vanaspati and margarine, it contains trans fatty acids. So trans fatty acids, actually these are the unsaturated fatty acids with at least one trans double bond in their carbon chain. They are often found in the partially hydrogenated vegetable oils, which are commonly used in the production of vanaspati or the margarine. Even these trans fatty acids, they when it is consumed in a good amount, they have an adverse health effect also. So over here my correct option is A, that is trans fatty acids. So question number 23, winterization is, options are removing waxes and high melting point solids, plasticizing solid fats, aging meat or ripening of cheese. So over here my correct option is A, that is removing waxes and high melting point solids. So winterization, it is a process of removing waxes and other high melting point solids from the oil during the production of the edible fats or oil. So actually it involves the chilling of the oil and then filtering it to remove the solids which are present, which help to improve the clarity and stability of oil at the low temperature. So over here my correct option is number A, that is removing waxes and high melting point solids. So question number 24. The time required to reduce the viable microbial population by a factor of 90%, it is known as D value, Z value, M value or F value. Over here my correct option is option number A, that is D value. So the time which is required to reduce the viable microbial population by a factor of 90%, it is known as D value or decimal reduction time value. So over next Z value. So Z value actually it reflects the temperature dependence, that which we can say the temperature change which is required to change the D value by a factor of 10. Whereas M value, it is also known as microbial reduction value, that is MVR. Okay, so it represents the extent of microbial reduction which is achieved by a particular heat treatment at a specific temperature. Whereas Z value, it represents the lethality of the heat treatment process. So over here my correct option will be D value, that is option A. Question number 25. The liquid fraction obtained during mashing in beer making is called. Options are hops, worts, mash or brew. So comment down the correct option of this question in the comment box. So when more information, that if you have still not installed our app FoodTech Online, you can install this app. The link is in the description box for you all. So this app is beneficial for all those aspirants who are preparing for the examination, that is food related examination. It can be CUET, PG, FCI, food analyst, food safety officer. Okay, so over here you'll get different sections, and in that different sections different subtopics are there and related questions are there for your preparation. So you can install this app and boost your preparation. So we completed few important questions, and more further questions you can practice in our app, that is FoodTech Online app. And if you like this video, you can share with your friends and you can subscribe our YouTube channel. Till then, thank you and enjoy learning.